Hi guys, welcome to Mother Moon Tarot. This is going to be your reading for Gemini for the month of April. First things first, please, if you hear yelling in the background, please don't be alarmed. My family are watching the rugby. That's what that is if you hear it. Let's get into it. April, yes, we are coming out of the Mercury retrograde period. Thank God for that. I don't know how it's been affecting yourselves, but it's been affecting me greatly. Lots of problems with technology and my videos and uploading and editing and all of that sort of malarkey. Problems with communication, setbacks, all of that. So I hope it hasn't been too bad for you. As always, thank you for stopping by to listen to your reading. Like I always say, energy and time is energy and energy is fluid. So if this resonates for you now, brilliant. If it doesn't resonate for you at the moment, it could be that you're ahead of the energy or behind the energy. It could be that you're, or in the middle of it. Take it how it resonates. As always, not all the messages will apply for everybody. I am reading for the collective Gemini, so take what resonates for you. If it doesn't resonate for you, that message isn't for you. That's pretty much it. So Sun moves into Aries on the 20th of March, so we're coming out of Pisces season as well into Aries season. Yeah, definitely, especially with Mercury retrograde leaving as well. It's a lot of that push forward. Aries is very much a go for it sign, and headstrong, and so there's a lot of that kind of movement forward energy. And then with Mercury coming out of its retrograde and going direct again, all those setbacks, all those kind of issues that may have been on halt or kind of held back, start to move and push through again. So a lot more kind of forward movement, which is great. Before we get into it, I was meditating on your energy before I came on camera, and I got a few kind of messages. So the first thing I got was the numbers 44 and 82. So however that resonates for you, if you're into numerology and you want to know more about what those numbers represent or possibly mean to you, do take a look online. There are hundreds of websites out there that will be able to give you information on what those mean. Check it out if you feel inclined to. I also then got the message of why don't you go? ? So why don't you go? And the other thing was fake it till you make it. So however that resonates, if it means something to you, take it with you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But yeah, let's see how your reading unfolds anyway, and see what comes through for you. So let's have a little look. So what does Gemini need to know for April, please? What does Gemini need to know for April? 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 Okay, far too many. I will take those two, however. And this one, okay. 2 more cards. What does Gemini need to know for April, please? What does Gemini need to know for April? Gemini needs to know for April. Okay, we have it. Let's have a little look. So, okay, so I'm just going to take a minute to have a look at the cards and figure it all out for you. As always, you don't have to wait for me. You can skip ahead to the start of the reading if you want to. So let's have a little look. Okay, so the first card that you had out, Gemini, was the Four of Swords in reverse. So the Four of Swords, when it's in the upright, it usually speaks to a period of time of taking time out, time to reflect, issues and burdens that are weighing heavily on your mind, reflecting on past issues, past pains, past burdens, and essentially, going within and taking time to reflect on those before going to battle or before moving ahead. In March or coming into the start of April, you may have been feeling, and this could be to do with Mercury retrograde as well, you may have been feeling that you had a lot of things like weighing on your mind, or a lot of issues or a lot of burdens, a lot of situations that weren't going your way, and you were having to, really take time to yourself to contemplate all of these things, reflect on them, think about them, in very kind of slow moving energy. Really kind of like, it was Pisces season, so really kind of going with that flow of like trying to put your thoughts together, and on past events or issues that you had been dealing with in the past, and really trying to put those to bed for yourself before then you can kind of move into the new energy or move ahead with things. So nice energy to kind of be coming out of, because with that in reverse, I do feel like you are coming out of those energies. You have taken that time to go within and you're moving out of that energy, especially with this sword pointing towards the forward movement of the rest of the spread. So that's always good as well. Sorry, I can't speak. See, Mercury retrograde. However, I will say that given that Mercury retrograde does finish, I think it's on the 27th or the 28th of March. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. And the 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks after, that energy can still be lingering a little bit. So I do feel like this is you're coming out of that energy, but it's not like you're bam straight back out of it. It's kind of like you're coming out of it very slowly, and moving kind of forward, in a slower energy. The reason I say that as well is because you have the moon card here as well for your second card. The moon card is very much a card of going within, reflecting on your intuition, your inner knowing, and really kind of taking time for yourself to put things together in your own head, in your own intuition. So those two cards together, especially with this one in reverse, leading on to this one, I do feel like that energy is going to be slow moving for you, and you are going to need to take time to yourself to reflect upon these things, and kind of just get in touch with your intuition. So if your intuition was off a little bit in March, March with Mercury retrograde, and you were thinking and reflecting on these things, but you didn't really know how to move forward, you're starting to come into the energy of knowing how you can move forward, because you're going within and looking at this intuition, and your intuition is kind of coming back into play. Again, you can see there's a lot of water energy here as well. We were coming out of Pisces season in March, going into Aries season, was all about that go, go, go. So you can see all these the animals here are looking at the moon, knowing their intuition, and then kind of walking towards this kind of long winding road through this kind of gateway. So it's kind of coming out of this energy, going within, and then moving forward slowly on the journey. The third card you had out then was the Two of Pentacles. So Pentacles is usually to do with tangible things, things to do with your material kind of world. So anything to do with, coin, finance, money, it can be family, home life, your home environment, anything to do with those kind of bare necessities. So anything to do with those bare necessities in your life. So trying to find that balance. That's what that usually means in the upright. The fact that it is in reverse, I do feel like this has got to do with that kind of that energy that you've been in and you're trying to come out of. So if you were trying to kind of reflect upon things in terms of your kind of bare necessities, your base kind of things in life, anything to do with your family, friends, or home life, your career. If you were trying to balance two of those things, like balance your home life and your career, or balance your, a new, a family member, or a hobby or something like that. If you were trying to balance two or more of those things, you're trying to figure out that balance. Like I said, it's in reverse as well, so I do feel like because of Mercury retrograde energy still lingering into April, I do feel like that could just be a delay in that kind of in finding that balance. Like I said, you're needing to go within with this moon card. So you need to kind of go within to be able to figure out that balance and where that balance needs to be before this can kind of turn in the upright. So you can kind of move forward. So I do feel very much there's a lot of Mercury retrograde energy kind of still lingering at the start of April here, before things start to then move, in the kind of like the second half of April. That's very much a theme I'm getting for the rest of the signs that I've done as well. So it's not just you, Gemini. There is very much that energy of kind of it lingering and then it starting to kind of push forward. So the fourth card that you got then was the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant speaks to anything to do with like higher society, things to do with like courts, government, religious kind of religion, churches, priests, lawyers, judges, government officials, anything to do with like those kind of higher powers in society. It can also speak to marriage. It can also speak to things of those nature. I do feel like for some of you, this has it's in reverse. So if any of you been going through any issues to do with like the courts or any legalities, things like a legal battle, to do with a business, anything to do with like a divorce situation, or anything to do with separation. It doesn't have to just be divorce in terms of marriage. It could be a separation in business partner. It could be a separation just in a relationship. It could be a parting of ways or letting go of like a business that you used to run, or a separation from yourself and a business partner. Anything to do with those sorts of things. I feel like it's got heavily to do with either business or to do with a close kind of relationship. So if you've been dealing with a breakdown in any of those things, or a legal battle, or something to do with the higher societies getting involved in either business or a relationship, I do feel like those energies are starting to turn around. So where we were in Mercury retrograde, those energies could have been weighing very heavily on you in March. I do feel like those are starting to come to an end now, or starting to kind of move forward. So I feel like the worst is over in terms of that, and there might be slight breakthroughs in terms of how you're kind of proceeding with that. Now that could just be for a very small group of you. Like I said, this is a general reading and it is for the collective. So it's not going to resonate for everybody. But take it as it resonates for yourself. For another portion of you, if this isn't to do with that, it could just be it could be something to do with you possibly even contemplating or trying to balance out, like I said, going back to like university and trying to balance your career and university studying again, or your family and university, or anything of that nature. So like I said, it's not always to do with like a legal kind of issue, or something to do with that. It can just be to higher society, so it can be learning as well. So yeah, I feel like whatever kind of stuck energies or setbacks or what there were with that before in March, I feel like those energies are starting to kind of come out, and things are starting to release and to move forward. Okay, so second last card, you got the Three of Cups. Three of Cups normally means celebration, abundance, kind of coming together of friends or family to celebrate something. It is in the reverse. Okay, so I do feel like you're going to need to wait for this. This energy is kind of coming through for you, but there's a delay. Like I said, that Mercury retrograde energy can still be lingering around. You've had 4 out of your 6 cards in reverse at the moment. So I do feel like that energy still is playing a part, quite heavily with you at the moment. So like I said, if you're starting to come out of this energy, whatever this is, whatever those delays were, you might just have to wait a little longer for that celebration to kind of come through, or that resolution, or that balance to kind of weigh up. So just don't be stressing. Don't be worrying too much about the fact that it may not be going or happening as quickly as you'd like. Just go with the flow and let it happen the way it's naturally supposed to unfold. Like I said, in the messages I got at the start, fake it until you make it. So if you don't feel like you can celebrate, or if you don't feel like you can, push forward with something, or you don't feel like something's going exactly how you want it to go so far, just fake it until you make it, and just go with the flow of those things. Those things are going to start to turn around. Put on that brave face, soldier on through. That balance then will start to come through, and then that celebration will be there for you. So just remember to kind of go within and go with your gut instincts, go with your intuition. That's pretty much what I would say for that. And then at the very end, you have a card in the upright, and I love this for you because you got the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is very much, again, it's a card of intuition, very much a Pisces kind of card. Cups is to do with your feelings, your emotions, and your kind of inner kind of knowing. She is a queen as well, so she is a master of her art or her craft or her of what she does. She is the Queen of the Cups, so she is mastering and in very much in her own knowing in terms of her emotions and her feelings. So if you've been feeling this intuition on something, again, you've been kind of going within and doing that kind of inner thinking and getting in touch with your intuition, you know, doing the work, putting the work in, taking the time for yourself to kind of figure out these thoughts to do with your feelings and your emotions, and your intuition on things. So very much a card of, yeah, you can see she's looking at that cup and she's scrying. So she's like, she's looking into it and kind of feeling out where the energies are kind of going to go. Again, there's a lot of water energy there as well. So definitely a card of the Queen kind of getting to a point where she's sitting there and now she knows. She's gone within, she's done the time of thinking, she's done the thought process, the contemplation, the reflection. She's come to get in touch with her intuition, and now she knows. She knows where things are kind of going to go and where things are going to lead. So she's in a much more stable kind of energy. So I do feel like at the start of the kind of the month, you are very much still in that kind of, there's that lingering kind of Mercury retrograde energy, still things still a little bit stuck, a little bit unbalanced, a few burdens still hanging around there, but there is that kind of, it's a slow movement. There's a slow movement forward, things starting to release after you start to go within, and kind of things coming to a head and starting to kind of move forward for you. And then there's that kind of culmination then towards the end of the month of then that kind of clicking into place of, yeah, okay, I get it. This is where this is going to happen. I feel these energies kind of coming into play. I've got that in my intuition is that I feel this is going to happen, or I feel good about this, or I can see where this is going. And very much just a more stable energy towards the end of the month. So I really like that for you. That's really good. Don't get all hung up on the gender signs either on the cards, please. This could be male or female energy. It doesn't have to be, whatever's on the card. Energy is, for either. So, if you're male or female dealing with this, it could just mean that, it's just that kind of more, that energy that you're embracing. Okay, so yeah, lovely reading. Things starting to balance out towards the end. So, yeah, I like that for you. And it's just very slow forward movement. So again, fake it till you make it towards the end of the month. So I'm just going to pull some oracle cards for you now. I just want to see if I want to clarify anything for you. First of all, it is pretty straightforward reading, but let's have a little look. I'm going to clarify the Hierophant here for you, just to kind of get a wee bit more information on that for you. So, okay, why is the Hierophant here for Gemini, please? Why is the Hierophant here for Gemini? For Gemini. Oh, it's very choppy. It doesn't want to say. Okay, why is the Hierophant here for Gemini, please? Why is the Hierophant here for Gemini? Why is the Hierophant here for Gemini? For Gemini. Okay, I'm going to take that one because that one popped out. The rest just were my bad shuffling. So, Queen of Swords. Okay. Okay, so whatever this Hierophant issue is for you, depending, like I said earlier, it can mean anything to do with kind of higher society, in terms of like law, the courts, judges. It can be universities, going back to learning. It can mean anything from like, marriage. It can be divorces. It can be anything that's in terms of higher society. Whatever this is resonating for you, you got the Queen of Swords to clarify. So like I said, you were kind of coming out of this energy, or this was the kind of slow moving energy forward. The Queen of Swords is very much a card of conviction. She knows what she wants, and she's firm, stood in her position, and she has her sword there in case she needs to use it. So she doesn't, because she knows what she's she's made her decision. She's made her made her bed and laid in it, if you've ever heard that phrase. So she's very much, she knows what she wants and she is going to get it. So if this is to do with kind of a court battle or a like legal matter or anything like that, I do feel like that is going to be coming through. You are going to be victorious in that. It could also speak to, like I said, if there's to do with a business or anything like that. I just feel there's some sort of victory here to do with this Hierophant situation. Like I said as well, if you are going back to like university, or you're trying to balance the thought of going back to university and balance it out with like, how am I going to balance that in family? you know, there's a victorious kind of like decision that you make in the end, or you find that balance and then you push forward with it. So very much, a very good energy to have, clarifying the Hierophant. So I like that for you. So that's positive. It's good. Okay, so that was your main reading. I'm just going to do some oracle cards now. The first one I'm going to use, first deck, is Moonology. This is a new deck that I got. As always, if you do want to know about the decks that I use for all the spreads, I always put the information down in the description box below, so feel free to go and check that out for any of the decks used in the reading. Okay, so the Moonology deck, I'm just going to grab one of these for you. So let's have a look. So what does Gemini need to know for the month of April? What does Gemini need to know? You had a card fly out there. Oh, no, you had to know. It was a group of them, so I'm not going to take it. Okay, so what does Gemini need to know for April, please? What does Gemini need to know for April? What does Gemini need to know for April, please? What does Gemini need to know for April? Okay. Oh, it's stuck under the table, huh? There we go. Okay. So, you got your own. You got full moon in Gemini. It says the answers you need are coming. There you go. Full moon in Gemini. Answers you need are coming. I love this card for you. I definitely feel like it's got some sort of connection to do with the needing to find this balance. And this, whatever this situation where the Hierophant is kind of coming into your reading here for you, whatever the situation is, whether it's a legal battle, going back to university, going back to learning, something to do with the business, something to do with the, relationship, or like what I mean is marriage or divorce or something to do with those things. Whatever this situation is to you, I do feel like that those answers are coming through to you. Those things that you need to know to be able to move forward are coming through to you, and that's because Gemini, because you're taking that time to really go within and kind of put your thoughts together and then put it together with your intuition as well. So you're really going within and doing that kind of inner work, and then it's paying off for you. So I really do like that energy for you. Nice, brilliant. Especially with that forward movement of Aries, the sun moving into Aries in April. It's definitely like that push to kind of move forward. It's brilliant energy. Okay, so the second deck I'm going to use is the Spirit Oracle deck. So let's see what's coming out for you. So what does Gemini need to know for April, please? What does Gemini need to know for April? What does Gemini need to know for April? What does Gemini need to know for April, please? What does Gemini need to know for April? Perfect. Let's have a look. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love it. I love all the colours in this as well. You got to speak your truth. You can see her third eye is open there as well. So again, very much that kind of thing, kind of speaking to intuition and getting in touch with your intuition on whatever it is that you need to know. And again, those answers are coming because of the intuition, and a beautiful kind of abundance of like bright kind of colors, so like yellows and kind of oranges and reds, and that's very much that kind of passion, that kind of movement forward, that new things kind of colors, if you know what I mean. Raw passion, emotion, new starts, new beginnings. So I do feel like that's very much a theme for you in this reading, of that movement forward into a new positive kind of state. So yeah, it says speak your truth. It says in the back, it says stand up for what you believe in, regardless of the consequences. Speak your truth regardless of what others may think. It's time to stand in your own power, shine for all the world to see. Absolutely. And I really feel like, because you're going within and doing that internal kind of thinking and really processing that for yourself, whatever the situation was for you or is for you, that's kind of coming through and starting to kind of move forward. I do feel like that's got a lot to do with you speaking your truth and really making your point heard, especially with that Queen of Swords that was that was clarifying the Hierophant here. That's very much about like that decisive kind of movement forward, of knowing exactly what she wants to do or knowing exactly what she wants to say and pushing forward with it. I really feel like that's definitely a good connection with the rest of your reading. So yeah, speak your truth, Gemini, speak your truth. And like I said, earlier on, fake it till you make it. If you aren't sure about what to say or in what way, you obviously have all the tools there to be able to fake it until you make it, until you do know what you want to say. So definitely a very nice kind of card there. So yeah, so that was your reading, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated for you. If it does, please leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on how it resonates, because it's always fun and enjoyable to kind of find out what people are kind of going through and how it's resonating for everyone. So please do leave a comment. Other than that, please like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. If you do feel inclined to leave a donation, which helps me to be able to help give all these readings and that to you on a monthly basis, that would be lovely, but you don't have to. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope it resonated, like I said, and I will see you again in May. So as always, Gemini, love you. I will speak to you in May.